Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Kai. I make bookish, lifestyle, and vlog content. It is that time of the month already. That was a poor choice of words on my part. It's time to do our April TBR picks. I am really rushing to get the rest of my March TBR finished. I am currently in the middle of 4 different books right now. I am reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, and Child of Light by Terry Brooks. I still have Clockwork Angel and Skyshade to finish off of my March TBR, so we're kind of rushing these last 7 days, but I think we can do it. I might not finish every single book that I'm in the middle of because that would bring it to finishing 6 books in 7 days, but I can finish the 3 on my TBR, hopefully. It is like extremely hot right now. It's like 86 degrees, but my mother doesn't believe in AC, I think, so it's also 86 degrees inside my house, and I can't have my fan on because then you guys would hear it, so I have to use this. If you see me sweating, no you don't. But I'm going to start off by doing a little bit of a book haul. I did order some UK editions of books from Blackwells, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys because these are very anticipated reads for me. These were all recently released, and I think a lot of these are on your guys' radar as well. I'm going to start with one that I've already read, but I bought because I wanted a trophy. It is The Crimson Moth, or in the US, it is published as Heartless Hunter. I do prefer the US version of Heartless Hunter versus this book, but I prefer the UK version of Rebel Witch. So I just decided to get this one to match it. It is very pretty. It is a hardcover. I was going to get the paperback, but they didn't have any in stock when I ordered it, but of course they were back in stock the day that it was delivered. And this book series is a duology, so obviously I had to get the Rebel Witch, and look how beautiful this one is. I was absolutely flabbergasted when I read The Crimson Moth, or Heartless Hunter, and I'm really scared to read this book, and I kind of want to finish it before the month ends, but that would just be another book to put on my TBR for the month, and I just don't know if that's realistic. And it kind of feels like a sin to read a book this pretty. Like, I don't want to ruin it, but it's inevitable. I don't want to request a hold on Libby because it's like a 15-week wait. So I will get to this when I get to this. But I have it because it is so pretty. This is what they look like together. These next 2 are also very anticipated for me. The first one I 100% found through Book Talk, and I did not want the US version. I thought the US version is very ugly, so it is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. This is what the UK version looks like. I'll put a picture of what the US version looks like. There's a clear winner here. Like, this is gorgeous. Like, this is a trophy. Like, this is a trophy. This is like, I mean, if this was hardcover, it'd be even more of a trophy, but I knew I was gonna read this physically, so I got the paperback so that I could read that. It's also very floppy. And then our 4th and final book, I actually have been kind of preparing for this book. I binge watched all the Tinkerbell movies this past weekend, and that book is Wings of Starlight. This one actually has like gold foil all over, so this one definitely feels like a sin to crack open, but we must. This one is not very floppy, but it's okay because we can stretch her out a little bit. I'm sorry, that was another poor choice of words. I need to put myself on timeout. I'm very anticipated for this. I have to say, when I rewatched Tinkerbell Secret of the Wings, I almost cried when I was thinking about Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory. So I am very excited to read this book. I think the US version does look a little bit different, but not like too much. I think it's just the color scheme is a little bit darker, or there's like a little bit more contrast or something about that in the UK version. But that is our little haul. They all came in this week. They actually came pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I thought they were going to. I am trying my best to not collect books that I'm not going to read. So especially since I have my TBR cart full and we're trying to get through those as well. So these I hope that I will get to in the month of April, but I am going to put them on my wall of fame or honorable mentions maybe, because I feel like that's cheating if I just put brand new books on my April TBR. I feel like this month has been a really weird reading month for me. I was thinking kind of along the lines of a reading slump, but Katie referred to it as reading limbo, and I think I'm going to call it that because that literally encompasses exactly what I'm feeling. I feel like I have been starting so many books, I just haven't been feeling them too much. Might be because I haven't had super great reads. Like I had 2 amazing reads at the beginning of the month, and then every book after has kind of been like so I don't really know if that's the reason why or what. Maybe I just need like a really good book to kind of amp up my energy a little bit, but we're still getting through it. We're still finishing books. I've actually read more books this month than any other month before, so I can't even call it a slump, but it's weird. So enough dilly-dallying, we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this video, and that is our TBR jar picks. I have to say, once I made this jar, I used it, but I think these papers are way too chunky. I think I am going to switch over to post-it notes, but I'll do that off camera and probably add a couple more jar picks, which you guys will see in the picking May TBR picks, maybe, if I remember. So because we have so many books coming out and a lot of anticipated reads, I'm only going to choose 6 picks for my TBR. If that changes, we'll see, but I'm gonna try and choose only from my TBR cart, but I do have a couple in my Kindle library that I can choose as well if the TBR cart is not cutting it. Let's pick our first prompt. Our first prompt is a book with a 1-word title. Let's see what options we have. So I just picked 3 possible options. We have Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and Legendborn by Tracy Dion. I have a very minuscule amount of knowledge of, and I kind of want to go into it blind. I feel that would be our best option, is to go into it blind. I actually meant to read it this month because I did buy it in a little shopping vlog, and yet we have not gotten to it yet. So there's that one. Caraval, I really want to read because I've only read like 1 or 2 chapters of it, and I didn't get that far into it because I hit a really bad reading slump in 2024, which I keep bringing up all the freaking time. So I just haven't picked it back up again, but I don't know if I am in the mood to read this right now. I think I might wait until May because this does seem more of like a summer read, like Caraval Circus. Like it gives me summer vibes in the non-traditional sense. And reading the back of Dragonfall, which I also read like a tiny bit, I think I'm leaning towards Dragonfall. It is a shorter read compared to the other 2, and the synopsis kind of is making me want to read it. So I think in a nutshell, somebody uses a spell to pull the last male dragon through a veil into the current world, and said dragon has to make their enemy, as in like a person, I think, fall in love with them and then kill them. And he's disguised as a human, so I don't know. It sounds interesting, so I think we're going to pick Dragonfall as our first TBR pick. Second jar pick. The one bad thing about using, another bad thing about using cut up post-it notes, no, not post-it notes, index cards for this is because they're so chunky and they stick together, so it doesn't really make for a good shuffle. Book with more than 400 pages. This will be easy. These are the thickest books that I could find. Let's get into them. First we have Cassandra Clare's Swordcatcher. This one has been on my TBR cart for I don't know how long, and it's been a minute since I've read Cassandra Clare, but I think I'm not going to pick this because we do have Clockwork Angel on our TBR, and I don't want to be reading two different series by the same author. I feel that I might get a little bit muddled there. Would probably love her, but we're gonna put her to the side for now. Next, we have The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. I am kind of leaning towards this one because I've also had this one for a very long time. Not this specific copy, like the book on my TBR. And I think this is a very unique magic system. I think I kind of need something unique to kind of yank me out of this reading limbo. So this is going in the maybe, leaning towards yes. And then Legendborn is also making it back in the options. So is Dance of Thieves. These are both YA fantasies. So there is that. I have read a lot of YA this month so far, so I think I'm going to go with The Bone Shard Daughter because I don't think this one is YA and I need the kind of change of scenery. I'm sorry, we just said no to Legendborn 2 different times. On to our next. Okay, a book with a person on the cover is our next prompt. I literally only have 2 books that fit this criteria, and that is Sorcery of Thorns, which was one of our options for this same prompt last month, and Legendborn. I think the universe is trying to tell us something. I think the universe is trying to tell us that we need to read Legendborn, hence why it was an option for 3 prompt picks in a row. So I feel that this is the obvious choice, is Legendborn. I don't necessarily have a specific pull to Sorcery of Thorns, but I've also forgotten what this is about. So we'll pick Legendborn. Okay, I'll pick Legendborn. Okay, this one is kind of fun. It is a book from a genre you don't reach for. I don't know if we have any of those in my cart, but what have I been reading recently? I've been reading a lot of fantasy. I've been reading a lot of mystery thriller. I read 2 mystery thrillers, so I guess if it's recent, then I'm going to count it. Mostly fantasy. I haven't read too much romantasy. I have read YA this month, but I feel like romantasy is kind of cheating. Let me see what I have on my cart. So literally most of the books on my TBR cart are fantasy. So I think we're going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to do subgenre that I don't usually reach for. And in that case, we only have 2 options. I think we're going to go the mythology and folklore route. In that case, we have Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. And then we also have Foul Heart Huntsman on our TBR cart, but it's the second book in the series. So it would be Foul Lady Fortune, I think is the first one. I'm not sure which one I want to do, but this one does seem pretty good. And I think it's time. Like I've been neglecting this one, like heavy, and this one is pretty unique. So seeing as I have not dabbled in this subgenre too much, I am going to pick Song of Silver, Flame Like Night by Emily Winslow. This one is also on our 25 for 2025, so this is a perfect excuse for me to finally pick it up. We have 2 more TBR jar picks. Our next jar pick is a book with a pretty cover. Most of these have pretty covers. I think that's why I got them. Let's take a look though. Okay, I picked 2 new books that kind of rose above in the cover department. These ones really caught my eye specifically. The first one is The Honey Witch, and the second is How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories. So The Honey Witch, I'm pretty sure, is a sapphic witchy romance, and this one is definitely giving spring vibes, so I would love to read this in April. However, this book not only has a pretty cover, but it also has pretty illustrations. This one's a very quick read too. This is actually under 200 pages. I think I'm going to pick this one just because this one seems to follow the, pretty cover, and it also goes above and beyond. But this is also the final book in Jude and Cardan's story, so I think it is about time for me to finish it up in that aspect as well. It is getting increasingly hard to shuffle this jar. Okay, well, we don't have any books for this prompt, so I'm gonna skip it. It was a book with the title of 5 or more words, and we've already picked both of our books that have 5 or more words. So we're gonna pick the next one. You can't read this because it's mirrored. It is a book you've already read once. We get a reread this month. I am gonna go look on my bookshelf for something I would like to reread. I'm so sorry to rob you guys of the joy of having me pick a new book, but if we're gonna do a reread, I'm rereading this. House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig, which also happens to fit our title with 5 or more words. But I've been thinking about this book so much lately, specifically within the past couple of days, because I am currently reading A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, and the fact that it is held in a area near the sea, it's literally this book. The vibes are eerily similar when it comes to the setting. However, the actual plot of the story is completely different. So I've been kind of missing that, and I think it would be a good tie-in. This one, if you have not read it, I highly recommend it, especially if you've grown up on the original classic Barbie movies, because this is inspired by the same tale that the 12 Dancing Princesses was inspired by. So yeah, there is that. I would love to devour this. Hopefully I can find it on Libby, but if not, I'll just read the physical version. I don't know why my Kindle has had me in such a chokehold lately, but I've literally been only reading Kindle Unlimited and or requesting every single book that I have physically on Libby so that I can read it on my Kindle still. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the screen that's really like, it's just making me able to digest the material a little bit more, not sure. So those are the 6 picks that we have chosen for our April TBR. As a recap, we have Dragon Fall, The Bone Shard Daughter, Legendborn, Song of Silver, Flame Like Night, How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories, and House of Salt and Sorrows. Now, this would not be a true Kai TBR without some extras. Now, last month, for this month, it's weird saying that when the month hasn't ended yet. At the beginning of March, we chose 6 reads as well, and then we also sprinkled in Anathema and Heartless Hunter, which we finished. So we are going to add 4 bonus honorable mentions, which you guys already know mostly what they are. First being Wings of Starlight. Second is Our Infinite Fates. Third is The Rebel Witch. And the fourth I have not talked about yet, but it is actually releasing this upcoming month, and that is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I read Phantasma in February, I think. I don't even remember exactly when I read it, but I read Phantasma and I loved it. So I am more than ready to read Enchantra. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have to worry about purchasing it. I did purchase Phantasma, but I do have a feeling that I'm going to finish all 4 of these. Is that cheating if I say that my TBR is 10 books long? I don't think so. I think that's reasonable. I'm actually on track to finishing 10 books this month, which is unheard of. The most I've ever read in a month is 7, I think, maybe 8. I have not hit double digits, but I'm excited to see if I do that. But yeah, that's my TBR. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am hoping that we get more 5-star reads, because this month, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I had great reads at the beginning of the month, and every book since has kind of been like kind of mid, but these are all good reads. Let me know if you guys want a reading vlog for any of these specifically. Now, a couple of these are series, so I could binge a series if that appeals to you, but we do have a couple standalones as well. So, but that is all that I have for you. Thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me yap. Like usual, all of my links are down below. If you like my content, consider subscribing. I would love to hear what you are in the middle of reading right now. Maybe that will give me some inspiration to extend my very long TBR. Not that I need it. But again, thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate every single one of you guys. And I will see you in the next one.